So far, the greatest response this afternoon has been about the future of rail franchises. The questioner wanted to know whether the West Coast rail franchise process, now seen to be deeply flawed, caused further concern to the HS2 proposal, that is High Speed 2. This is from somebody called Peter, who says, why is it that the panel was just afraid to answer a simple question, that because of the debacle over the West Coast Main Line, the data, it is now not logical to look at HS2 and the spending of $34 billion of taxpayers' money? Of course it is. WCML was only a fraction of the potential fiscal liability to UK PLC compared to HS2. Joe Rukin has called us. Hello, Joe.
Good afternoon, Anita.
Hello, good afternoon. Now, you are with a pressure group, are you not? Stop HS2.
Stop HS2.
Right, let's say, well, that's good to put those cards on the table first. What do we learn and what do we link between what's happened and what will happen with HS2?
Well, the first thing, obviously they're chucking all the blame at the civil servant, but what you've got to realise is that the chief civil servant in charge of franchising is also the chief civil servant in terms of HS2. And when you look at how he and both the permanent undersecretary of the DfT performed at the Public Accounts Committee, it's actually quite shocking. In fact, those are the exact words of the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, and she was Margaret Hodge MP, who was saying that the justifications that they were giving were shocking, potty, bonkers, that she was gobsmacked by the way that they were biasing the assumptions. And we've known this since the start. You know, in the Stop HS2 campaign, we get dismissed as a bunch of NIMBYs, but the thing is that we're a bunch of people who have looked at the figures right from the start and realised that they've just been made up to support the business case. OK,
so that's interesting. Are you saying that Stop HS2, your main objections, your primary objections are the numbers don't add up, or the primary objection is this rail line is going to, or this high-speed rail link is going to cut through some countryside that is particularly beloved?
Well, our primary message is no business case, no environmental case, no money to pay for it. Now, on the environmental case, you've pretty much got every national environmental organisation in opposition to HS2 as is. But on the business case, we've got the Institute of Economic Affairs, the New Economics Foundation, the Adam Smith Institute, the Taxpayers Alliance, even the Institute of Engineering and Technology have said that HS2 is fundamentally flawed.
How do you explain then that there seems to be political unity on this? You don't get political unity on many things, but you have the Conservatives who are keen on this, and then you also have Labour. We had Stephen Twigg saying, absolutely, we are committed to the principles behind HS2.
Well, this is the thing. The problem is with politicians, with a lot of the public originally, is that the words high-speed rail sound like they must be a great idea. And politicians get briefings that are produced by the DfT and the supporters of HS2 that have a lot of spurious claims that simply do not stand up.
Okay.
And none of them have looked into it properly. I was on a recent interview on the radio with Ed Miliband, and I was shocked at how low his level of knowledge was, and what him and other politicians are willing to say, that they just buy into the spin with this thing.
Joe, thank you very much for calling.